After the war, we had nothing. But we had hope. And slowly, Japan began to rise again. Imagine waking up in a country that has lost everything. Not just a war, but its identity, its pride, its future. Smoke still rising from the ruins of cities that once stood tall. Streets filled not with life, but with silence. Factories reduced to skeletons of steel. Families searching not for dreams, but for food. This was Japan in 1945. A nation on its knees. Defeated. Destroyed. Forgotten. If you stood there at that moment, you would never believe what was about to happen next. Because what came after was not recovery. It was a miracle. A transformation so powerful that the world had no choice but to watch in disbelief. But this story isn't just about Japan. It's about discipline. It's about vision. It's about what happens when a nation refuses to stay down. After World War II ended, Japan faced a reality more brutal than defeat itself. Its economy was shattered. Inflation was rising uncontrollably. Millions were unemployed. Hunger wasn't a possibility. It was daily life. There were no shortcuts. No easy solutions. No external rescue that could magically fix everything. And yet, instead of collapsing completely, Japan did something different. They didn't ask, "Why did this happen to us?" They asked, "What do we do next?" That single shift changed everything. Because nations don't rise because of luck. They rise because of decisions. And Japan made one of the boldest decisions in modern history. They chose growth over grief. Instead of rebuilding the past, they started building the future. The government stepped in with a clear vision, not just to recover, but to transform. Policies were introduced to stabilize the economy. Inflation was controlled. Land reforms gave power back to ordinary people. Education became a national priority. But the real magic was happening inside factories. Inside small workshops. Inside the minds of ordinary workers. Because Japan didn't just rebuild industries. They reinvented them. In a world where cheap and fast was enough, Japan aimed for something else. Perfection. They focused on quality like no one else had before. Every product mattered. Every detail mattered. Every mistake was unacceptable. This obsession with improvement became a culture. A philosophy. A way of life. And it had a name. Kaizen. Continuous improvement. Not once a year. Not once a month. Every single day. Small improvements. Relentless progress. No excuses. And slowly, the results began to show. Factories became more efficient. Products became more reliable. Workers became more skilled. And something incredible started happening. The world began to notice. At first, Japanese products were ignored. Seen as cheap. Low quality. Not worth attention. But Japan didn't react emotionally. They didn't argue. They didn't complain. They improved. Again. And again. And again. Until one day, the same products that were once laughed at became the gold standard. Cars. Electronics. Machinery. Japan wasn't just competing anymore. They were leading. Companies like Toyota, Sony, and Honda didn't just grow. They dominated. Not by chance, but by design. Because behind every success was a system, a discipline, a mindset that refused to settle. While other countries focused on quick profits, Japan focused on long-term excellence. While others chased trends, Japan built foundations. And this patience, this discipline, turned into power. By the 1960s and 70s, Japan's economy wasn't just recovering. It was exploding. Growth rates were unbelievable. Industries were expanding. Exports were booming. And the world was shocked. How did a country with no natural resources become an economic giant? The answer is simple. They used what they had: human capital, skill, dedication, and unity. In Japan, success wasn't individual. It was collective. Workers weren't just employees. They were part of something bigger. Loyal to their companies. Committed to excellence. Driven by purpose. This culture created stability. And stability created growth. But it wasn't just about hard work. It was about smart work. Japan partnered with global markets. Learned from others. Adapted quickly. Improved constantly. They didn't copy. They upgraded. And that made all the difference. Technology became their weapon. Innovation became their strategy. Precision became their identity. And soon, Made in Japan wasn't a label of doubt. It was a symbol of trust. A guarantee of quality. A mark of excellence. By the 1980s, Japan had achieved what once seemed impossible. It became the second largest economy in the world. From ruins to dominance. From collapse to power. And yet, the most powerful part of this story isn't the success. It's the mindset behind it. Because Japan didn't rise because it was easy. It rose because it was necessary. Because failure wasn't an option. Because giving up was never considered. This wasn't luck. This wasn't magic. This was discipline. Consistency. Vision. And relentless execution. The Japanese economic miracle teaches something most people ignore. Success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from thousands of small improvements. Repeated every single day. It doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from effort. From patience. From refusing to quit when everything feels impossible. Japan didn't rebuild in a year. Or 5 years. It took decades. Decades of sacrifice. Decades of focus. Decades of belief. And that's what makes this story so powerful. Because it proves one thing. No matter how bad the situation is. No matter how far you fall. You can rise again. Stronger. Smarter. Unstoppable. But only if you decide to. So the next time you feel stuck. The next time you think it's over. Remember this story. Remember a country that had nothing. And built everything. Because in the end, the Japanese economic miracle isn't just history. It's a lesson. A blueprint. A reminder. That collapse is not the end. It's the beginning of something greater.